Have you ever looked at a person in a position of authority and wondered seriously, how did they get that job? You're not alone. Most of us have seen it. Individuals who seem clueless, reckless, or downright incapable somehow rise through the ranks, while others with real talent, thoughtfulness, and skill get sidelined or ignored. Think of Caligula appointing his horse to a government post in ancient Rome, or the modern-day CEOs who torpedo multi-billion-dollar companies with questionable decisions, all while walking away with golden parachutes. It happens so often it feels less like an accident and more like a system. But what if it is a system? What if there's a strange logic, an unsettling truth behind why the least qualified people so often hold the most influence? Today, we dive into one of political philosophy's most notorious figures, Niccolò Machiavelli. But don't worry, we're not dusting off some ancient textbook. We're exploring how his brutally honest view of power still explains why ignorance, arrogance, and even incompetence are not bugs in the system, they're features. In the early 1500s, Florence was a city of art, money, and brutal politics. After being cast out of government, Machiavelli sat down and wrote The Prince, a book that would shock future generations, where earlier thinkers dreamed of noble leaders and ideal republics. Machiavelli did the opposite. He asked what actually works. And his answer was clear. Power is about perception, not perfection. He famously wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." In other words, it's not about who you are, it's about what people think you are. This is our first clue. In many systems, appearing capable is more valuable than actually being capable. Machiavelli noticed something surprising. Rulers who showed too much wisdom often undermined themselves. Why? Because intelligence isn't just about knowing things. It's about asking questions, recognizing complexity, and understanding limits. But here's the problem. Power doesn't reward that kind of thinking. In fast-moving political or corporate arenas, the person who says "I don't know" is often seen as weak, even if they're the only one being honest. Meanwhile, those who act with total certainty, who give simple answers to complex problems, they're often the ones people follow. History backs this up. Socrates, the philosopher who questioned everything, was executed by his own democracy. Meanwhile, countless charismatic but simplistic leaders have risen by promising easy fixes. A 2017 study from the Journal of Management suggests that intelligence helps with leadership, but only up to a point. Past an IQ of around 120, the benefits drop off. Beyond that, being too smart might actually alienate people, making it harder to connect, persuade, or lead. Let that sink in. Being exceptionally intelligent can make leadership harder, not easier. So, if intelligence can hold you back, what actually helps people rise? One word: confidence. Think about it. How often does the loudest, most self-assured person in the room end up in charge, even if they have no idea what they're doing? Psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger gave this effect a name, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. It describes how people with low ability often overestimate their competence, while truly skilled individuals tend to doubt themselves. As Shakespeare put it, "The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool." And this plays out everywhere. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who seem confident are more likely to be seen as leaders, even when their actual skills don't measure up. Take Adam Newman, founder of WeWork. His over-the-top charisma helped raise billions of dollars, even though the business model was shaky at best. Or look at history's George Custer, whose brash confidence led to catastrophic failure, but not before gaining him fame and promotions. It's not ability we reward, it's certainty. But it gets deeper, because once these overconfident, underqualified leaders rise to power, something dangerous tends to happen. They build systems that keep them there. Machiavelli had a chilling insight into this. He wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Translation: powerful but insecure leaders tend to surround themselves with people who are even less competent than they are, so they're never challenged. Psychologists today call this competence threatening. Insecure leaders often feel threatened by smart, capable subordinates, so instead they choose loyal, agreeable, often underqualified people. Not because it's best for the team, but because it protects them. This creates what you could call a mediocrity echo chamber. Think of it like a forest fire of incompetence, starting at the top and spreading downward, choking out fresh ideas and talent. We've seen this throughout history. Emperor Commodus filled his court with flatterers while Rome crumbled. Zimbabwe's leadership under Robert Mugabe purged technocrats in favor of loyalists, leading to economic disaster. Even in corporate environments, questioning leadership is often seen as disloyal, no matter how constructive the critique might be. If you've ever worked in an office where the best ideas were ignored, or where asking hard questions got you labeled a troublemaker, you've seen this dynamic up close. So why do we keep choosing bad leaders? Why do the same patterns repeat in every generation? Blame the shortcuts our brains take. We instinctively trust people who look confident. We assume decisiveness means competence. We crave simple answers in a complicated world. These instincts helped our ancestors survive, but they're dangerously out of place in modern leadership. Today, the most effective people are often those who are cautious, humble, collaborative, and thoughtful. But those aren't the qualities that get people noticed or promoted. Machiavelli never said power should work this way. He just pointed out that it does. We may want a world where wisdom is rewarded, where leaders are thoughtful, and where complexity is respected. But until we understand the deep psychology and hidden incentives behind who gets power and why, we'll keep mistaking loudness for leadership and arrogance for authority. So what can we do? Maybe it starts with changing what we value. Maybe we reward thoughtful questions more than sweeping declarations. Maybe we stop assuming that confidence equals competence. And maybe, just maybe, we become more skeptical of the easy answers offered by the wrong people, because recognizing how the game is played is the first step to playing it better. Thanks for watching. If this sparked new thoughts, consider sharing it with someone who's ever scratched their head at bad leadership. Stay thoughtful, stay skeptical,